Everyone thinks free apps are actually free, but the truth is you are the product, and ChatGPT just made that official. OpenAI has quietly updated its privacy policy to enable marketing cookies by default for free ChatGPT users, and those cookies are specifically designed to track your behavior and convert you into a paying subscriber. No big announcement, no press conference, just a policy update that changes how your data is used, effective now. Here's everything you need to know. To understand why this matters, you need to understand what cookies actually do. A cookie is a small piece of data stored in your browser that allows a website to remember you, track your activity across sessions, and in the case of marketing cookies, share that behavioral data with advertising and analytics platforms. Most websites use them. But ChatGPT is not most websites. It is a platform where millions of people type their most personal questions, their work problems, their health concerns, and their private thoughts. The idea that marketing cookies are now switched on by default on that platform is a fundamentally different proposition than cookies on a retail site. According to a report by Wired, published on May 1, 2026, OpenAI's updated privacy policy explicitly states that the company uses cookies for tracking purposes aimed at turning free users into paying subscribers. That is not a vague corporate boilerplate statement. It is a direct admission that your usage patterns on the free tier are being analyzed and leveraged as a conversion tool. The policy makes clear that free ChatGPT users are now subject to this tracking by default, meaning the burden is on users to opt out rather than opt in. This is a critical distinction. Opt-out systems are statistically proven to capture far more users than opt-in systems. The vast majority of people never change default settings. By flipping marketing cookies to on by default, OpenAI has effectively enrolled its entire free user base into a behavioral tracking and conversion pipeline without requiring a single user to actively agree to it. That is a deliberate design decision, not an oversight. The implications here stretch in several directions at once. First, there is the privacy dimension. Users who come to ChatGPT expecting a reasonably private conversation interface are now operating inside a system that is actively profiling their behavior. Second, there is the trust dimension. OpenAI has long positioned itself as a company building AI responsibly for the benefit of humanity. Using your free users as conversion data points sits in uncomfortable tension with that stated mission. Third, there is the regulatory dimension. In regions governed by GDPR and similar frameworks, enabling marketing cookies by default without explicit prior consent may not be legally straightforward. That is a conversation that regulators in Europe and elsewhere are very likely to have. From a business strategy perspective, this move is entirely logical. OpenAI is a company burning through enormous amounts of capital to run some of the most computationally expensive AI systems ever built. Converting free users to paid subscribers is an existential priority. Marketing cookies give the company data to build retargeting campaigns, personalize subscription prompts, and understand exactly which types of users are most likely to upgrade. It is a playbook borrowed directly from the social media industry, and it works. But effectiveness and ethics are different questions. The social media industry normalized behavioral tracking for a decade before the public, regulators, and even the companies themselves began to grapple with the consequences. The question worth asking now is whether the AI industry is repeating that pattern, building massive user bases on the promise of free access, quietly layering in surveillance infrastructure, and then scrambling to address the fallout years later. Watch for three things in the coming weeks. First, whether regulators in the European Union issue any formal inquiries or guidance regarding this policy change. Second, whether OpenAI provides clearer opt-out instructions or faces public pressure to flip the default. Third, whether other AI companies follow suit, because where OpenAI leads on monetization strategy, competitors tend to follow. If you use ChatGPT for free, go check your cookie settings right now.